the Diablo 4 Season 7 PTR is out, and I'm going to continue ignoring it in favor of Path of Exile 2, which is coming out on Friday. I am so excited for this. I've been working on a bunch of different builds, and it's looking great. Now I'm going to be playing the Witch, and if you want to follow along and see what I'm doing, if you're a Necromancer main and you want to play minions, you're going to be playing the Witch. And if this skill tree looks daunting, don't worry, I got you. For the first 5 hours of gameplay, you're just going to path up here, grab your damage nodes, and then go over here and get minion damage. And by the time anything else matters, there's going to be like 50 guides posted by, the evening of Friday. Their Discord, they have recently added to and made a bunch of internal forums similar to what the Sanctuary Discord has. And I'm doing what I always do, and I make a thread. People are joining it. We've got 854 messages here, mostly just me rambling about different build ideas. So if you go to Witch Tips for Dad Gamers, you can see our discussion. At the top, I'm going to make links so that you can find other witch guides. So when like Goblin Inc. or Maxroll posts a guide to Witch, you'll be able to find it here, along with a link to what I'm doing and how I'm building. If you like my quirky builds, you're probably going to love what I'm doing here. A lot of this is going to be changed and updated as time goes on. So back to the Witch. Tree. Most witches are going to stay in this area and build like minion damage up here, and they're going to maybe build like elemental damage. And I'm going to go way down over here into the ranger area because I am hyper fixating on Bone Storm. So I'm going to get like infinite power charges through Lust for Power. And I'm going to make all my projectiles like bounce around and hit the same target a bunch of times, which is going to be a lot different than how most witches are going to build. See, most witches are looking at Infernalist. This is the minion build, or the primary minion build. It can get the most spirit, so it can summon the most minions. So if you're a minion enjoyer, you're going to play the Infernalist. You can see there's 11 different options for how to build the Infernalist, of which you're going to be able to pick about 4. Not all of these options boost minions, and not all of them, and some of them actually destroy some minions. So you don't have to pick the options that boost minions, or you don't have to pick the options that boost personal damage. I think this is going to be the most covered witch archetype or ascendancy class by different content creators. And so I'm skipping this. You're going to find better creators doing Infernalist builds, and I'm going to link to them in this thread. And if I look and I think their math is good, you're going to be able to click links to other beginner class threads and other witch builds, and it'll take you right to it. Currently, there's none. I'm going to be building a bloodmage. And there's a lot of people looking at bloodmage and looking at, because the bloodmage does weird, interesting crit and crit damage stuff. So it turns its health into critical strike damage, which is a multiplier. And it does a bunch of other things, like it can overflow its health to get double maximum health. And then that health turns into critical damage. There are some other things. You can make every spell have a high crit chance versus usually only some spells can get crit chance up. And when I looked at the preview video, I saw this Bone Storm skill. Where is it? Right here. Channeling all of these projectiles, and then you throw it at a mob. And I went, that looks cool. How can I break the game with that? So when I looked into this, I did a deep dive of every single support gem we have showing all the combos we can do. And I saw that Bone Storm's a channeled spell. So we can activate cast while channeling. So while we're casting Bone Storm, we're going to cast other spells for free, sort of. we're going to use Power Offering to sacrifice a bunch of minions to generate infinite power charges, which will then our Bone Storm consumes. We're going to get extra charges, and then we're actually going to end up with more power charges than we need so that we can raise zombie using power charges rather than corpses. So during bosses, we're going to have infinitely replenishable raised zombie. It also leaves corpses now free to summon more minions via Unearth. There's a lot more to this synergy. This is just like a quick preview of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be min-maxing the hell out of Bone Storm. I'm even going to be coming down into the Ranger, the bow users. They have all these stuff that modify projectiles. So rather than do what most witches do and stay up here, grab, a fire or elemental or ice, lightning damage, maybe some bonus minion stuff, I'm going to leave. I'm going to come path through the monk area, and then I'm going to pick up this, Lust for Power. This gives you, whenever you generate a power charge, I'm going to be sacrificing minions for these, I have a chance to gain maximum power charges. So as I'm casting Bone Storm, I'm going to generate more power charges than I need to just fuel Bone Storm. That's how I'm going to get the infinite zombies. And then, by coming into the Ranger area, where there's, these are the people who use bows, they have a lot of nodes that modify projectiles. So this one makes my Bone Storm pierce a target. So I can hit a boss, and half my projectiles, or 65% with this node over here, will go through the boss. And then, once they, those 11 projectiles pass through the boss, they're going to bounce off terrain, and half of them are going to come back and hit the boss again. So I'm going to be hitting a boss like 22 times with one cast, which then activates cast on critical. Since I'm hitting so many separate times, I'm going to be generating a lot of energy towards cast on critical. And when you build up enough charges, it'll fire off another spell. And so basically every second, I'm going to be firing off another free spell by critical striking so much. And this spell gives me more crit chance by cursing an enemy for me. So that's the basic synergy. Run cheap minions that don't cost spirit. Use my spirit to cast on critical, cast while channeling. And there's a whole bunch of other theory crafting. This is just what I'm working on right now. So if you want to follow me and see what I'm doing, go to discord.gg/pathofexile. They don't call this the official Discord. This is a fan-run Discord, but the actual developers of Path of Exile regularly chat in the channels of this Discord. So this is, in many regards more official than the Diablo Discord, since the devs regularly talk in this Discord. And if you go into one section and look up the witch tips for dad gamers, you'll be able to see what I'm doing, follow along, and see my guide or guides as I update them. You'll also be able to see vetted guides by my other friends, or guides that I've of content creators that I think are easy to follow and make sense. Have a great day, folks, and I hope you'll see me streaming on Friday. Servers go live, I think, at 2 p.m. Eastern, and I'll probably be YouTube live at 1:30 answering questions and just completely nerding out about how excited I am for this game. Have a great day, and I guess that's it. See ya.